talking about is there are certain parts of the Bible that speak of the Creator as masculine. But if you truly understand the biblical vernacular, the language, you understand that what we call God in Hebrew is Elohim. The term Elohim ends with what we call a masculine plural, but it begins with a feminine noun, Elo. So that means that the term Elohim, which we're calling God, is composed in biblical Hebrew of female first. Hold on, listen. Watch this. Listen. You're talking to somebody with 27 years of teaching biblical Hebrew. So listen to this. I'm 41 years old. So listen to this. The biblical word for God is Elohim. It ends with a masculine plural, but it begins with a feminine noun, Elo. So that means the very idea of God begins with the feminine concept. Just like we know in reality, who are your first gods? Your mother and your father. But the God that you know, that whose womb you came from, was what? A woman. So let's be clear.
Up there.
I just think that it's interesting to say that the Black woman is God. I would like to know what the definition of God to them is. Is it someone who has control over any and everything, can do, has all power, can be anywhere all at once, is in the past, present, future, all at the same time? Like, what is your definition of God?
So Zion says that we call God in Hebrew is Elohim. The term Elohim ends with what we call a masculine plural, but it begins with a feminine noun, Elo. So that means that the term Elohim, which we're calling God, is composed in biblical Hebrew of female first. Hold on, listen, watch this. Listen. You're talking to somebody with 27 years of teaching biblical Hebrew. So listen to this. I'm 41 years old, so listen to this. The biblical word for God is Elohim. It ends with a masculine plural, but it begins with a feminine noun, hello. So that means the very idea of God begins with the feminine concept, just like we know in reality. So Michael Heiser is an American biblical Old Testament scholar and Christian author. His area of expertise is the nature of the spiritual realm in the Bible, namely Heiser alert. The divine counsel and hierarchy of the spiritual order. He received an MA in ancient history from the University of Pennsylvania and an MA and PhD in the Hebrew Bible and Semitic languages from the University of Wisconsin-Madison with a minor in classical studies. This is what he says about the term Elohim. Several different entities are referred to as Elohim in the Old Testament. Considering this already provides insight on how the term should be understood. The Hebrew text of the Old Testament refers to the following as Elohim: Yahweh, the God of Israel, over 1,000 times, the member of Yahweh's heavenly council, the gods of foreign nations, demons, spirits of the human dead, and angels. This already demonstrates that the word should not be identified with one particular set of attributes. Elohim is not a synonym for God. All beings called Elohim in the Hebrew Bible share a certain characteristic. They all inhabit the non-human realm. By nature, Elohim are not part of the world of humankind, the world of ordinary embodiment. Elohim, as a term, indicates residence, not a set of attributes. It identifies the proper domain of the entity it describes. Yahweh, the lesser gods of his council, angels, demons, and the disembodied dead all inhabit the spiritual world. They may cross over into the human world, as the Bible informs us, and certain humans may be transported to the non-human realm, like the prophets, like Enoch, but the proper domains of each are two and separate, distinct places. So if we were to believe what Zion's saying, that, Yahweh is the name of Elohim, then the angels are also Yahweh. The disembodied spirits are also Yahweh. The divine council is also Yahweh. Oh, and they're both female and male, according to his definition of the word. So it's problematic. Elohim is not the name of Yahweh. It's a designation. It's residence.
Right.
And even though Yahweh is an Elohim, no Elohim is like Yahweh. So yeah, it's he's wrong. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he's very wrong.
And there's a whole theology around that. You know what I'm saying? There's a book I've got by Michael Bird. I don't think I have it with me right now, but there's a book by Michael Bird where it talks about, it really revolves around the deity of Christ. And he goes into how there's a whole theology around, and I'm talking about, even before Christianity, this is just a part of, Judaic culture, where they would categorize spiritual beings according to their attributes, what they're able to do, and so on and so forth. So, for example, there's no being but Yahweh that's like the giver of all life and responsible for all of creation. Whereas there might be another, maybe some sort of archangel, like one of them, I think it's called Metatron. Sounds like Megatron, but there's an angel referred to in some of the ancient Jewish texts called Metatron. And he was supposed to be one of the more powerful ones. But, it's pretty clear that is not responsible for creation. So they had an idea of what these different Elohim were like. But just to use the term Elohim doesn't necessarily say something about Yahweh. It's a designation that he's obviously a spiritual being. But to go further beyond that, I mean, he's really just reaching there. Yeah.
See what I tell you, red fish, blue fish. So precipice says, I was like, okay, man. I just proved my point. I just want y'all to know with that little clip.
But you see how problematic it is, because then he's saying that the prophet Samuel, when the witch of Endor rose him up, that means Samuel was basically gender fluid. Because he's saying Elohim is both masculine and feminine, so then Samuel was both masculine and feminine.
Some transgenderism going on, bro.
Say it. So, but
it's interesting now that you mentioned, like, I mean, Jesus says, and I just can't remember it off the top of my head what passages, but he talks about how the angels are neither male nor female. You know what I'm saying? And so I just think that's interesting that you can be obviously a spiritual being and not be beholden to one gender or another. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, Michelle Turner, actually, yes, he would be better saying El Shaddai, because that is a feminine body part, right? It's the breast, right? So, he should have went with that, absolutely, but he didn't. So, it is what it is. So,
bars from the chat.
Yeah, no doubt. So yes, let's keep it moving. Let's go to the next clip.